So, we might be getting more buffs for older characters again, and before anyone gets too excited, let me slow this down real quick. This is not a beta sheet, not a kit leak, not an official announcement. It is basically a theory that is floating around right now based on a pattern people think Hoyo might repeat. But the idea is still interesting enough that I wanted to put it into one clear video, because if it turns out to be true, it could matter a lot for accounts that want to make use of older Mondstadt characters again. The post in question lists pictures for Mika, Eula, Kia, Amber, Lisa, Jean, Varka, and Noelle. And yes, Varka is on the pictures, so the internet instantly went, wait, Varka buff too? But the more reasonable take right now is that Varka being there does not automatically mean he is part of the buff list. In fact, even the people pushing this theory say Varka is probably just there for a different reason. Here is the logic that makes the theory even exist in the first place. Recently, we got the whole Hexerai style buff system, where older characters like Albedo, Mona, Razor, and the rest got these new tasks and that special two-character synergy. Now, the claim is that Hoyoverse is releasing a new batch of badge merch, and the characters shown in that merch batch are the ones people are pointing at. The pattern people are referencing is this: the last time Hoyoverse dropped a batch of merch focused on a certain set of characters, that set ended up matching the characters who later received Hexerai-related upgrades. So the theory is that they might repeat the exact same marketing pattern. Merch first, in-game buffs later. That is why this list is even on the table. And then we have the Varka problem. A lot of people see Varka in the image and immediately think he is part of the supposed buff wave. But the more realistic explanation is actually simpler. Varka is a brand new character, and if he is coming soon, it makes total sense to start selling his merch right away. New character hype equals easy merch sales. That does not have to be connected to older character buffs at all. So if you see Varka there, do not automatically add him to the buffed characters pile. In fact, some people discussing this theory specifically point out that the original post does not even list Varka as a buff target. It lists the older Mondstadt names, and Varka is just the confusing extra face in the picture. So if this is real, it is probably not Varka gets buffed. It is more like Varka is new, so he is being marketed, and the older Mondstadt group might get attention at the same time. Now let us talk about the actual list for a second, because the list itself makes sense thematically. Mika, Eula, Kaya, Amber, Lisa, Jean, and Noelle are all very classic Mondstadt-era units, and a lot of them are exactly the kind of characters players always bring up when the topic is older characters need love. So from a community perspective, this list does not feel random. It is the kind of list people would actually predict if you asked them, who are the next old units that could use updates? At the same time, this is also where we have to be honest. Hoyo does not have to buff anyone just because they released merch. Merch can simply be merch. They can sell badges of characters for no gameplay reason at all. And the fact that this theory is based on a pattern from one earlier wave does not make it reliable. It just makes it plausible enough to talk about. There is also another angle people are already thinking about, which is the next region batch. Some players expected the next buffs after Mondstadt would move toward Liyue instead. And the mood from that side of the community is basically, if this Mondstadt wave is real, then maybe Hoyoverse wants to fully finish the Mondstadt cast first, then do Liyue later in a separate wave. That is not confirmed either, but it is a clean way to imagine how they could pace it. If you want my best guess on what would be most likely if they really do it, it probably would not be full kit reworks. Of course, small kit changes will be necessary, but it could also be something in the same spirit as the Hexerai approach. Some kind of unlockable upgrade, quest-tied adjustment, or synergy system that gives older characters a reason to show up in modern teams without rewriting the entire game balance. That would match their current design direction. But again, that is a guess on top of a theory, so keep it light. If you want, tell me in the comments which of these characters you actually want to see improve the most. And if you see any more solid information on this, like something that is more than a merch theory, drop it in the comments too, because right now that is the missing piece. Thanks for watching, and I will keep you updated if this turns into something real.